So I have this friend who, for almost as long as I've known her, has nominated herself to be responsible for other people's awareness. She sends out, you know, um, she has this daily text. She sends out affirmations and encouragement and things like that. And she also sends out links to news stories and different things um, because she wants the recipients to take action on the information that she shares. And recently, and this isn't even a new conversation. This is just the new version of this conversation that we have had. I told her to stop sending me links to news articles. I told her that she does not need to be responsible for my awareness because I know what is going on. I told her to stop sending me these things. At one point, I told her that I believe that her nervous system was dysregulated because ain't no way it makes healthy sense to be texting out news stories to people in the midnight hours. Because, first of all, why are you awake and why are you trying to pull other people into your dysregulation? That's not the point of why I'm saying this. I shared with her that I know what's going on. I am aware. I am choosing not to allow what is going on to pull me apart. And if you are listening to this episode, it is my hope that by the end of this episode, you too will feel steadier in saying the same thing for yourself. Let's get into it. Hey, hey, welcome to Confident Women Glow. I'm Mo James, your confidence coach and guide on this journey of self discovery, self trust, and self expression. I believe confidence is more than a mindset, it is a practice. It's about showing up boldly, even when life feels messy, and owning your journey every step of the way. So, whether you are in your car, at your desk, or just taking a breath between responsibilities, thank you for letting me speak into your day. Let's get into the episode. Hey, quick pause to tell you about something that I created just for you. If you've ever needed a judgment free space to process your thoughts, get grounded, or reconnect with your power, I want you to meet Camille, your AI confidence coach. Camille was built by me to support you any time of day with journal prompts, reflection questions, mindset coaching, and encouragement rooted in the same compassion and clarity that you hear right here on this podcast. Whether you're working through something heavy or you just need a gentle push to stay on track, Camille is here to remind you that you are not broken. You are becoming. Tap into your truth at your pace with Camille. Visit CamilleAI.net to learn more and start your journey today. Now let's get back to the episode. Okay, so it feels very reductive to say what I'm about to say in this way. And I'm also tired of saying this in this way. It's a lot happening right now, right? Like, duh, there is a lot happening right now. There's violence, there's cruelty, there is spectacle, there is absurdity. There are things unfolding that are disturbing and for a lot of us, deeply personal. And this episode is not, I'm not here to pretend that that stuff isn't true. This is, I don't want to just talk about bypassing. I'm not talking about, oh, we're going to be so super spiritual that we, just don't even notice the harm that's happening or whatever it is. I don't, I'm not trying to encourage you or, or advocate for putting your head in the sand. This conversation is about discernment. This conversation is about leadership of self. This is about deciding for yourself what deserves your attention, what deserves your energy, and what deserves your emotional labor. Because There is a difference between being aware and being consumed. And right now, I feel like people are slipping from the first into the second without even realizing it. There was a conversation happening on Threads a couple of weeks ago where a person asked, how is it possible that people are, showing up on these social media platforms talking about, their everyday things when everything is falling apart? And I commented saying, a lot of us are working through what we are feeling as a result of what is happening with our therapists. We're not doing that stuff online. We're working or talking through our feelings with our safe people. And if the everyday things that we're talking about provides for our family, then we have to be able to compartmentalize to continue to do those things, because part of the safety in this season requires provision. When everything feels urgent, it feels like everything needs a public reaction. And your nervous system does not rest. Your body does not settle. Your mind is constantly scanning for the next piece of bullshit, the next headline, the next thing to be outraged about, the next thing to confirm that things are actually as bad as they feel. And I believe that over time, things begin to erode. Your presence erodes, your patience erodes, your clarity erodes, your ability to be fully present in your own life is diminished. At some point, staying plugged in stops being awareness and it slides into self abandonment. And that's the line I hope to illuminate in this conversation, because something happening doesn't mean it deserves unlimited access to you. Just because something is important doesn't mean it automatically becomes the center of your world. And that, for me, is where our confidence comes in. And I'm not talking about the loud confidence or the performative confidence. I'm talking about the confidence that says, I get to choose where my attention goes. And so, for your consideration, consider that your attention is not infinite. Your emotional capacity is not infinite. Your nervous system is not built to process endless crisis. And when you give more than what is necessary attention to the things that you can't control, you end up neglecting the things that you can control. And that's your inner world, that's your people, that's your home, that's your local community. Those things are not secondary, those things are foundational. So, in my mind, those things need to be first. I Confidence isn't something, confidence doesn't mean you have to have an opinion on everything. Confidence looks like knowing what deserves your attention first. And I feel like for a lot of people right now, and this is by design. This It's by design what I'm about to say. The hierarchy has been flipped. We are hyper attuned to what is happening far away, and we are under attuned to what is happening within us and around us. And so I want to encourage us to slow things down. For your consideration, what is happening inside you right now at this moment? Is your stomach hurting? Do you have a headache? Do you just feel off in your body? I'm challenging you to slow yourself down and look within. I'm not talking about dedicating energy to the stuff that you're reposting. or to the stuff that you are outraged about, what is happening in your emotional landscape? What's happening in your spirit? Because the truth is, if you are in a constant state of dysregulation, exhaustion, and overwhelm, you are not in a position to help anybody because you can't even help yourself. Staying oriented around the things that are within your control is not selfish. I believe it's responsible, especially given what is happening right now. What is happening in your immediate relationships? The people in your house, your elders, your chosen family. Are you being present with them? Are you resourced enough to show up for them with patience and care? Are you resourced enough to show up for yourself? No, that's what we're talking about. You're not. That's why we're having this conversation. Are you carrying so much emotional noise that it is bleeding over into the spaces that matter most in your life? We don't get gold stars for neglecting our homes just for the sake of saying that we're informed. I believe that strong communities are built from the inside out. So, for your consideration, what is happening where you live, in on your street, in your neighborhood? The comment section and the online and the national stuff, there's a place for that. Put it in its proper place. Who needs support where you live? Where can you actually make an impact where you live? What relationships need tending where you live? I feel like there's a kind of power in us that shows up when we are rooted. And doom scrolling does not build roots. I want to challenge us to refuse to allow the intended, designed, orchestrated chaos to dictate our priorities because the cost of living in a constant state of reaction is too damn high. We forget who we are and we forget what we are really capable of because we are unmoored. So choose when you engage with the news instead of allowing it to choose you. I was telling a family member a couple of months ago that I don't, the only news I watch right now is the local news, what's happening in my zip code, in my surrounding, in my region. And the national stuff, I don't watch. I read it because I can control the pace and how much I take in and how many times a day I check in. I don't need the constant exposure to know what's going on. The boundaries can be in place and you can be informed. That's the first thing. The second thing is reinvest in the things that you can touch: your body, your conversations, your breath, your daily rituals, your real life connections. These are the things that will stabilize you in ways that the headlines will not. The headlines are not designed to do that. Thirdly, ask yourself a better daily question. Again, another conversation I've been having recently. There's this quote that I love from Zora Neale Hurston. And she says, there are years that ask questions and years that answer. And we ain't got no answers. We ain't got no answers right now. So, what we can do is practice asking ourselves better questions. And that shift looks like, instead of saying, what else is happening right now? We ask ourselves, what needs care today? We ask ourselves, what can I actually influence? We ask ourselves, where am I needed in real life? Because these types of questions will bring you back into your own agency and autonomy and self-leadership. You can see what is happening, be aware of what is happening, and not be pulled apart by it. And you are not doing this. This reminds me of the strategic indifference episode. You're not doing this because you don't care. You are doing this because you care so much that you want to stay whole. Because in your wholeness, you have the power to know where to land. For your consideration, you are allowed to look away, period. You are allowed to log off, period. You are allowed to protect your energy without guilt, period. You are allowed to prioritize your people, period. And you are allowed to choose a response that sustains you instead of one that drains the very life out of you. Because in these days and times, the most radical thing you can do, I believe, is not knee jerk react louder, but staying rooted, tending what is yours, and refusing to let the chaos make your decisions. Step into your position of leadership of yourself. Consider yourself. You don't have to be pulled apart to be awake. Look at you listening all the way through to the end. Thank you. If this episode stirred something in you, take a moment today to check in with yourself and ask, what do I know is true for me right now? And if the podcast has been a supportive voice in your week, I'd love it if you left a rating or a review. It helps more women like you find this space. And remember, when you need a gentle nudge back to yourself, you don't have to figure it all out alone. There are resources that can help, and I hope you'll find them here. Until next time, keep glowing, and remember, the safe bet is always you.